One of the most prominent genres that has gained traction in the recent years is horror comedy. It seems like every few months we get to see a film of this genre hitting the screens. Now, what's interesting is that this genre has not been mainstream for a very long time, except for a few exceptions. And just to be clear, for the record, in this video, we are not going to talk about the very popular, ultimate, unintentional horror comedy Jaani Dushman Ek Anokhi Kahani. Now, currently, Stree 2 is making waves in theaters, evident from its critical acclaim and commercial success.
सरकटे के बारे में हम क्या जानते हैं?
सरकटे का सर कटा हुआ है।
वाह, इसको अभी का अभी आईएएस घोषित कर दो।
Before diving into what makes the world of Stree so much fun, let's take a quick look at the history of horror comedies in India and the development of the Maddox supernatural universe. The journey of horror comedies in India began with Mahmood's Bhoot Bangla in 1965, which was an accidental pioneer in blending horror with comedy. However, it was the Ramsay brothers in the 1970s who truly established horror as a mainstream genre, though their films lean more towards the horror approach rather than focusing on the comedic aspects. Over time, this formulaic approach to these films reduced the interest of the audiences. Now, in contrast, the South Indian films embraced horror with comedic twist, which eventually influenced Bollywood's revival of the horror comedy subgenre. The 2007 hit Bhool Bhulaiya, an adaptation of the 1993 Malayalam film Manichittittal, redefined the genre by adding a psychological dimension to the supernatural. Subsequently, a wave of films introduced elements like friendly ghosts and romance. Films like Bhootnath, Gangs of Ghosts, Bhoot Uncle, Filori and Golmaal Again explored these themes, but many struggled to strike a compelling balance between horror and comedy. Even high-profile projects like Lakshmi, inspired by the Kanchana franchise, faltered due to the over-the-top execution and forced humor. Indian horror comedies have also drawn significant inspiration from Western cinema, adapting global concepts with a local twist. The amazing Rajan DK's Go Goa Gone brought zombies to Bollywood, while Phone Bhoot and Bhoot Police introduced Desi Ghostbusters, nodding to Western influences like the popular TV show Supernatural. The genre truly exploded in 2018 with Rajan DK's written and Amar Kaushik's directorial film Stree, which led to the creation of the Maddox supernatural universe. Now, this universe includes films like Bhedia, Munjya, and the recent Stree 2, with the upcoming release of films like Vampires of Vijayanagar, which they drop a hint for in the mid-credit scene, and then the subsequent Bhedia 2. Interestingly, until Stree 2, the universe, the interconnected universe, was only hinted at the post-credit scenes of other films before finally bringing the threads together and expanding the scope of this world. Now, Stree, which was released in 2018, was set in Chanderi, which is a town in Madhya Pradesh, haunted by a spirit that targets men during an annual festival. To ward her off, residents write "O Stree Kal Aana" in blood on their doors, and men avoid going out after 10 p.m. Now, this film ends with Stree's braid being cut off, which apparently weakens her. However, the town later understands that all this spirit wants is respect, leading them to erect a statue in her honor with the inscription of "O Stree Raksha Karna." Now, Shraddha Kapoor's character remains mysterious, never named, and is revealed to combine her braid with Stree to gain power. The other character includes the friend group of Rajkumar Rao's Vicky, Abhishek Banerjee's Jana, Apar Shakti Khurana's Bittu, and the Pustak Bhandar owner Pankaj Tripathi's Rudra Bhaiya. Next was Bhedia in 2022, set in Zero, Arunachal Pradesh, where Varun Dhawan's character Bhaskar is bitten by a werewolf, turning into one each night. He becomes a protector of the jungle, opposing those who seek to harm it. Abhishek Banerjee's character Jana, who plays the cousin of Bhaskar, is revealed in the post-credit scene as the same friend from Stree, which ties the two films together, establishing the shared universe. Now, the 2024 installment Munjya shifts to the Konkan region, where a young boy named Gotia resorts to black magic to win over his love Munni, who is 7 years older than him, but ends up becoming the malevolent spirit Munjya. Now, while it seems that his spirit has been put to rest, the post-credit scenes suggest otherwise. In this scene, Bhaskar, also known as Bhedia, is seen stranded naked in the jungle, where Jana, which was Abhishek Banerjee's character, hands him clothes including an underwear from the brand named Munni, which hints that Munjya's presence may still linger. And now we have Stree 2, which finally breaks Bollywood's long-standing curse of making great sequels to good films. Stree 2 builds on the strong foundation led by its predecessor, although this time it is not Raj and DK who are taking the director's chair. This time it is Niren Bhatt and Amar Kaushik, but still they craft a delicious blend blend of interesting characters and plot lines. It can be seen as the Avengers of supernatural universe, bringing everything together and hinting at a bigger and better reveal in the future stories. In a recent podcast that I did with Sumit Arora, the dialogue writer of Stree Part 1, he mentioned how even the simple scenes like information dumps can be made engaging by adding more quirks and elements to enhance the film's overall emotional impact.
The conversation sounds funny because he was reading about one topic and suddenly went to a different topic because there's a page missing in between.
In comedy, think of any Priyadarshan film from the 2000s. It's often the small gags that build up to the climax. The quality of the film largely depends on how well these moments are executed. Stree 2 excels in making these moments memorable, much like the first film, whether it is a stupid Disha Patani joke, Vicky singing an iconic English song, Vicky asking for a break while fighting with the demon, a Mahabharat reference rolled into Hindi films, or the unforgettable Bicky Pleage. Now, the missing pages scene mentioned by Sumit during the podcast plays a crucial role in Stree Part 1, and it also plays a crucial role in this part as well because it flips the previous trope of Stree abducting men to a new Sarkata Bhoot abducting women that parallels societal issues that we see in our country in a mirrored fashion. Now, Amar Kaushik delivers a hefty dose of exposition with the use of Ram Leela, an elaborate Ram Leela style stage performance which recaps the entire events that happened in the first film. Abhishek Banerjee's character Jana, after being put through the trouble in Stree and Bhedia, is trying to distance himself from Chanderi but still gets drawn back into the chaos. Now, the first Stree is a masterclass in genre subversion, a quality that gets carried forward in this sequel as well. While most horror films rely on jump scares and dark atmospheres, Stree uses humor to counterbalance the eerie tension. The film's humor is not just comedic relief, it's woven into the fabric of the story, making the horror elements even more impactful. One of the most impressive aspects of Stree's writing is the ability to balance horror and humor without compromising either of the two. The film will introduce the ghostly antagonists Stree and Sarkata in ways that are both terrifying and oddly amusing. The townspeople reaction to the supernatural events are filled with a blend of fear and comedic disbelief, making the horror more interesting and the comedy more enjoyable and grounded. This balance is achieved through sharp, witty dialogues that captures the essence of the small town India while adding layers of humor in the story. At its core, Stree acts like a satire on the patriarchal society that often marginalizes women, and the ghost of Stree who targets men serves as a metaphor for the fear that men have when power dynamics are reversed. The sequel often flips this concept, showing that everyday reality of a woman as a literal monster to tackle. The cleverness lies how the film addresses these issues without being preachy. The societal commentary is seamlessly integrated into the narrative, enhancing the story and giving it the actual thought which is often missing in mainstream films that attempt to address societal issues. Stree is a shining example of how brilliant writing can elevate a film, and I would love to know your thoughts about Stree 2 and where do you think this supernatural universe is heading to. Let us know in the comments, and I'll be back soon with another video. Till then, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching. Long live cinema.